Hi friends, through this video I would like you to know about the right mindset which is required for sure shot success in civil services preliminary examination. So before discussing the 3 C's which is required for the success, I should establish my credibility first. So I am putting in front of you my mark sheets. If you see in 2018 I scored around 119.34 marks, and in 2017 also I cleared the Indian Forest Service examination, but unfortunately I missed my mark sheets. If anyone is having doubts, they can check my result in the Forest Service selected list, I mean prelims, who had qualified for Indian Forest Service prelims list in the provided URL here. Okay, so this is another proof to show that my strategy worked in 2017 also. In 2016 I scored 134.66, but I did not apply for Forest Service on that year. Had I applied, I would have got selected even for the Forest Service. You can see my marks. In 2015 also I cleared prelims, but I did not qualify for the Forest Service cutoff. So I don't have my prelims mark sheet. So I am just providing my mains marks list as a proof that I have qualified for the mains. Since I have qualified for the prelims from 2015 to 2018 consistently, I have qualified also in 2014, but in 2014 I have qualified mainly because of the second paper marks, that is aptitude and English paper marks, because in 2014 the cutoff score was counted based on the both papers. From 2015 onwards they have changed the scoring pattern. They are considering only the first paper marks for qualification, whereas the second paper marks, minimum marks are required, 66 marks are enough. Okay, that is why I have provided only from 2015 to 2018 mark sheets and proofs. Okay, so based on my success, what I observed is, it is mainly the confidence which I had made lot of difference inside the examination hall. Many of my friends in peer group used to study much more than what I used to study, but unfortunately they could not convert their factual knowledge and their knowledge base into success. The main reason which I think is lack of required confidence inside the examination hall. So I believe the confidence is the most important thing in getting success in prelims, because you are considering this exam as the most important thing in your life, and also considering the competition you have and considering the time you have invested in this exam. No other emotion can keep you calm. So if you want to crack one of the toughest exams in the world, it is what many people tell. So in that scenario, it is only the confidence, this is the value which can give you the calmness. When you are confident, then you can keep your nerves under control. If you are not confident, you will get intimidated. You will not be in a calm mindset to be able to think commonsensically. So when you are confident in the examination hall, when you are confident before the exam, then you can keep your nerves under control. You will be calm. When you are calm, then your common sense comes into picture. Please remember that the preparation which you are doing just for 1 year or 2 years, or which you have been doing only as part of UPSC preparation, will alone get answers right in the examination hall. I believe your 15 years of school or and next 4 to 6 years of your bachelor's and master's knowledge also helps. I mean, when I say 15 years, I tell that put together school and college put together, around 15 years of your education will also come in handy in getting the answers right. So don't think that if I did not study for this year prelims, I may not be able to crack. This kind of thing I have seen mainly in the people who go to till interview but unfortunately they could not find their name in the final list. They have to restart their preparation again for the prelims, but they lack time in preparing for prelims. So they think that since they did not prepare, they may not be able to crack. So they go to exam hall with low confidence. There itself they have lost half of the game. So I sincerely believe that don't think that only if you study for that year, or only if you study 8 hours per day, and only if you complete current affairs you will be able to crack the prelims exam. Why I am saying is, I have solved 2019 paper without any kind of preparation and without opening any book almost for 10 months and without reading any newspaper also. I, of course, I approached it in by sitting in my room. In the examination hall I might have little more tension because of the exam, but even then I am confident that I would have reached the cutoff because of my strong fundamentals and also because of my confidence levels. So I want you to emulate this thinking to repeat, to repeat the success which I have seen in your prelims exam. So it may appear vague to you, but let me explain it to you through an example which I have in the form of a question. But before proceeding to that, I want to emphasize the importance of the right mindset. So if you observe the Indian independence struggle, whatever we have studied in as part of our Bipin Chandra or NCRTs, is British could rule Indian people mainly because of two things. First, Indians felt that Britishers are benevolent. They are here to help us. It is also called white man's burden in Western school of thought. So they are here to civilize us. So that is why we could let them rule. This is one thing. Second thing, we also felt that they are invincible, they are mighty, they are stronger than us. So in the mind we have accepted that they are better than us. That is why it has become very easier for Britishers to invade us. That is what our historians and the philosophers propose. Okay, and how could we then overthrow the British Empire is moderates first sowed the seeds of sedition in the form of grain theory. For example, Dadabhai Nauroji exposed the bad intentions of the British Empire because they used to take the raw materials from India, manufacture the products in Britain and sell them again here in Indian market. So, and Ramesh Chandra Dutt told that in a very understandable format. It is like the clouds are sucking the water vapor from Indian soil, but they are showering in Britain. So this is a very nice way of explaining that Indians were deprived of their valuable resources. So by explaining in these forms, people could realize the malevolent nature of the British Empire. So the notion of benevolence was removed. Then extremists and revolutionary terrorists could show that we can fight against the Britishers in the form by killing some of the British officials, by openly confronting with the British Empire. So by which they instilled confidence in Indians. So even the invincible notion has been removed. That's how first we could win Britishers in the mind, and then when Gandhiji has come later into the picture, he has built upon that foundation. So without believing something in the mind, you cannot manifest it in reality. So in a similar way, you have to first believe in yourself that you can succeed in the prelims, then only you can manifest that in the exam. So I am coming back to my picture, that is the first value should be confidence. So it is a virtuous cycle. Once you are confident, you will be calm, then your existing repository of knowledge will come into picture, and then you will apply your observational knowledge, your school level knowledge, your college level knowledge in solving the paper. Then that is called common sense. This common sense will help you to eliminate the options. Then you will be able to answer one question. If with that once you mark 1 or 2 questions with common sense, your confidence will boost up, and then again the cycle repeats. So this is a virtuous cycle, but the starting point is confidence. So only confidence can fuel this, can ignite the spark for this virtuous cycle. So I am giving you one example for confidence. If you see this question, I have picked up this question from 2018 prelims paper. Here it is mainly about Global Alliance for Climate Smart Agriculture. So the statements are given. First statement is it is an outcome of the climate summit held in Paris in 2015. Second statement, membership of climate smart agriculture does not create any binding obligations. Third statement is India was instrumental in the creation of GSESA. Okay. One thing, even if you don't know the first two statements, since we are sincere aspirants, we might have been studying for the past 1 year or 10 months, or some of you might have gone to the interview but may not have time to prepare for prelims. Whomsoever you are, if you are a sincere aspirant, you might be very sure that India did not promote Global Alliance for Climate Smart Agriculture, because we know that India has promoted International Solar Alliance and India has promoted yoga. These two things India has promoted, and that's why it has been very much in news. So see, if India has promoted even Global Alliance for Climate Smart Agriculture, it would have got the similar range of coverage or similar scale of coverage the way IS, International Solar Alliance, and yoga has got. So at least if you are confident, you can clearly say India was not instrumental in the creation of GSESA. So you can easily eliminate the third statement. When you eliminate the third statement, there is only one option which is without 3, that is B. So here I could clearly show you how confidence about yourself, confidence in your preparation will help you to mark the question. It might appear difficult for others, but if you are confident, you can easily get this question right. So in future, I will pick up these kind of questions much more. I will discuss some more tips so that you can easily crack the prelims exam with your existing repository of knowledge. If you need any extra inputs, please contact Alpha IAS website. There you have contact us tab. You can contact us, or you can mail at Krispoorti, KRISHSPOORTI @gmail.com. Okay, or you can provide your comment in the YouTube comment section through your mail ID. I will get back to you. Thank you.